Hello students, welcome back to my additional mathematics channel. Today I would like to discuss homework for today. Let's get started with the class now. Hello students, let's do the self exercise 4.7. This is your homework for today. There are 12 players in the school handball team. So that means total number of players you have 12. Determine number of ways a coach can choose 5 players. So how they choose, is the order important? They want striker 1, striker 2, striker 3 and defender 1 and defender 2. That means the order is very important, right? So order number 1, they want the striker 1, striker 2, striker 3, defender 1, defender 2. So that means arrangement is very important. So this question is actually permutation. Okay, first we must get the right decision whether it is permutation or combination. So if the order is important, that means it is permutation. So we actually want 3 strikers and 2 defenders. But because the order is there, we want striker 1, striker 2, striker 3. So we must use a permutation. So out of 12 players, we must choose 3 strikers. And then after that, we will choose the defenders, followed by. So we will start with the n, which is 12. We will choose, follow the order. So we won't use C. We will use P. Why? Because the order of the striker 1, 2, 3 is there, right? So it's 12P3 followed by, is a multiplication rule. So we multiply. So we multiply, after we choose 3, that means 12 minus 3, the balance should be 9, right? Out of the 9 player, we are going to choose defender 1 and defender 2. You see the order is there. So again, we have to use a permutation. So the 9 players remain. We will choose 2 defenders. Okay, from the 9 players, after we choose the 3 strikers, we will choose the 2 defenders from the 9 players. So we will multiply by 9P2. Again, the order is important because the question highlight defender 1, defender 2. So then you multiply, your answer is 95,040, which is quite many ways to select according to the order. Alright, so this is a permutation question, be careful. Alright, so now we are going to do B, to play in district level competition. So we actually want to choose the players. Out of 12, we want to choose 5 to represent district level competition. Now they didn't give the order, right? We just want the 5 players represent the school. So in this case, it's a combination because the question never highlight how is the order of the selection of the players. So we just take 12, we choose 5 as a team to represent the school to the district level competition. So this is a combination. Okay, so before you do, you must be very sure. Okay, is the order important or not? Now we use a formula Okay, 12 factorial over 12 minus 5 factorial over the 5 factorial. Remember our formula, NCR equal to n factorial over n minus r factorial over the r factorial. So the answer is 792 ways. So obviously it will be less than number of ways if the order is important. Like A, you have 95,040 ways, whereas if the order not important, it's just that 792 ways. Okay, so be careful when you do. Always think first whether the order is important or not before we use a formula. Alright, so let's proceed to the next question. See question 2. Class 5 Al Biruni has 25 pupils. 3 representatives from the class are selected to attend a motivational camp. Find the number of ways to select the representatives. So it seems like it's very direct question, selection of the 3 representatives, right, from 25 pupils. It's just like we select 3 pupils from 5 S4 class. Select, whereby order important or not? Not important. So the number of ways of selection is combination because the order is not important. So we just take 25C combination, or you can say C represent choose, whereby the order is not important. So it's 25C3. So the answer, you can actually use a 25 factorial over 25 minus 3 factorial over 3 factorial. So this is a formula, 25 factorial over 3 factorial over 25 minus 3 factorial. So the answer is just 2300. So this question is a very direct combination question whereby the order is not important. Okay, so we can use a formula to solve it and we will get the answer, right? So let's proceed to the next question. Question number 3. What is the number of ways to select 4 letters? We want to select 4 letters from the letters P, Q, R, S, T, U. We have P, Q, R, S, T, U. We have 6 letters. Out of 6 letters, we want to select 4 letters. So this is actually quite easy, right? So we have total number of the sample, which are P, Q, R, S, T, U. We have 6, right? And out of the 6, we are going to choose 4 letters. So in order to solve question like this, we need to know the total number of letters. How many? 6, right? P, Q, R, S, T, U. So we have 6 numbers, and out of 6 numbers, we want to choose 4. Is the order important? R is a total number that we want to select. We want to select 4 letters. The main question is the order important? The question didn't even mention about the order of the selection. So in this case, we can just use a combination. Out of 6, we will choose 4 letters, alright? Okay, so you can use the formula 6C4 is equivalent to 6 factorial over 4 factorial over 6 minus 4 factorial. And then you can just use a calculator if you want, or you can just simplify without using calculator. So there are 15 ways, 15. So total number of ways of choosing 4 letters from 6 letters is 15 ways. Okay, so this is quite direct and quite straightforward question. Let's see question number 4, which is the last question. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H are the vertices of a regular octagon. Find the number of diagonals that can be formed from the octagon. Diagonals is a straight line that connect the two vertices of the octagon, right? Okay, but we must make sure the diagonals is not the edges. Okay, so let's see. We have the octagon. So that means we have how many vertices? Octagon means that we have n, which is total number of vertices. Of course, is equal to 8 because of the octagon. Now, based on the 8 vertices, if we want to form the diagonals, the total number of vertices needed is just 2 because diagonals is a straight line, isn't it? In order to draw a straight line, we just need 2 points, 2 vertices. Okay, hence number of lines that can be formed with the vertices is equal to, out of the 8 vertices, we just need to choose 2 vertices to form the diagonals. So how many ways? In fact, we have 8C2, right? We have 8C2. So the number of ways to form the lines, okay, I say the lines is 8C2, but not all the lines formed are actually diagonals, isn't it? It can be the edges of the octagon. So in this case, even though we have the number of lines is equal to 28, we still need to be sure that number of diagonals is not inclusive of the edges of the octagon. So we have to use the total number of lines minus out total number of edges of an octagon. Okay, so how to find edges? You should know the octagon, how many edges. Okay, so we will have to take 8C2, which is total number of lines, which is 28, minus out the edges of the octagon. The octagon, we have 8 sides, meaning that we have 8 straight lines, right, which are the edges of the octagon. So in this case, we need to be very careful because not all the straight line are diagonals. So we have to minus out 8, so 20, right? The answer is just 20 diagonals that can be formed from the octagon. All right, so be careful. Always reconsider the condition and try your best to reduce a careless mistake. That's all my sharing for today. Bye bye and have a nice day.
Where the movie started, facing at a photo they've taken. Space tree flying through the skies and battles happen everywhere. I don't need any hero to save me. I don't know why the kids always crying. I've been thinking about all the captains, but we left in a wasted planet.